Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including a new live TV streaming service is coming next month from Disney, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery. We'll break down everything we know about Venue Sports. T-Mobile is reportedly looking at buying a internet service. We'll tell you what's happening as they continue to look for a fiber service to purchase. And a free streaming service from TCL. We talked about it last week, but we got some additional details about it. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick minute. First though, if you're new here, do me a big favor. You can find a link to every story I talk about in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. If you want to learn more about them, I'll put a link there and you can read it to come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people. We would appreciate your support. With that said, let's dive into it. Venue Sports. It's a joint project from Fox, Disney, and Warner Bros. Discovery to bring a bunch of its sports channels, including ESPN, networks, ABC, Fox local stations, FS1, BTN, TNT, TBS, truTV, and ESPN Plus, all to customers. As a standalone streaming. This is huge for cord cutters. One of the big complaints about sports fans is if you want sports, you also have to pay for the Disney Channel, or you have to pay for all these other content channels you don't want. This is not a la carte TV, but it's a step in the right direction of even skinnier bundles of channels. We'll keep a very close eye on it. But what do we know? Well, reportedly it will launch next month in August 2024 from when I'm recording this. It will include the following channels: ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, SEC Network, ACC Network, ESPN News, ABC Locals, Fox Locals, FS1, FS2, BTN, TNT, TBS, truTV, and ESPN Plus. It will be supporting on most major streaming players. Now, there was a leak out there that's confirmed. There's some unconfirmed stuff. Lopez spotted a unreleased beta app that was on some smart televisions that included the ability to have a DVR, multi-view, and other fun things. Now, pricing is unknown. They have not announced it at this time, but it's reported probably between $40 and $50. It's all speculation right now. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. We don't know the exact number. We don't even know the exact release date other than it's reportedly going to happen prior to the college football season, which starts next month. It's hard to believe. We're just a few weeks away from pro and college football. Fall is going to come quicker. Enjoy. I know it's still July, but that fall weather is here before you know it. So go enjoy that summer. But this is going to come out before the start of the college football season. We'll see. You pair this with Peacock and you pair this with Paramount Plus, and you could have a very cheap discounted bundle. We'll see. I've said this for a long time. This really needs to come in around closer to the $40 than the $50 to be successful. The problem they have is if they come in at the $50 mark, you add Peacock, you add Paramount Plus, suddenly you're in the $60 range, and for an extra $10 you get YouTube TV with a lot more sports channels and content. You know, they're still missing a few big things. NBC content, which includes the golf channel for a lot of big golf fans. The other networks are missing, like CBS. We'll keep a close eye on this, but like I said, I think this needs to come in around $40 to be successful, or it's just not going to make it. All right, T-Mobile is reportedly in talks to buy a major internet service provider as it looks for a way to expand its fiber home internet service. Now, this is a report that came out earlier this month or earlier last week, I should say, from TMT Finance. Now, they say T-Mobile is in active talks to buy MetroNet. Now, MetroNet is in like 17 states with a couple million customers, and would be a huge pickup for T-Mobile as they look to expand their fiber. Now, T-Mobile fiber home internet is available in a handful of markets right now. It had looked at some other internet providers to pick up. I think Frontier, if I remember correctly, somebody correct me if I got the wrong internet provider. Earlier this year, there was reports that they were in talks to purchase Frontier. That deal ultimately didn't happen. So MetroNet could also ultimately not happen. But T-Mobile sees home internet as a big part of its business. Its 5G home internet service is one of the fastest growing internet services in the United States, adding hundreds of thousands of subscribers every quarter. We'll keep a close eye on this, but T-Mobile really wants to diversify just away from just wireless. T-Mobile makes a lot of money in wireless, has a lot of partners, but it's facing a lot of competition. We're seeing these smaller providers, these cable companies launch phone services, and yes, they are just reselling others, but there's other competition on the horizon. Dish's Boost Mobile is building out its own 5G network that could help go head-to-head with them. Then, of course, there's Verizon, AT&T, and others. T-Mobile is seriously looking at how do we stay competitive, and becoming diversified is a big way to do that. Verizon and AT&T both have large fixed internet services through its fiber lines across the country. Now T-Mobile wants to do the same. We'll keep a close eye on that. Buying a company will jumpstart that plan. Will it be successful? Will it not? We'll have to wait and see. All right, next story up. TLC TV Plus, the free ad-supported streaming service, came to Roku recently. Now, last week when we reported this, we talked about it coming to Roku televisions through the TCL TV app. It's not just stopping there. It's also available on Roku players and other brands of Roku televisions. So I just wanted to clarify that. TCL TV Plus is a free ad-supported streaming service that had been exclusively available through TCL TVs with the Google TV interface, now coming to all Roku players, Roku televisions. It has 350 live channels, a ton of on-demand movies and television shows with this. It's one more option for you to get some competitive options for free content. So why so many? Well, free ad-supported streaming is one of the most popular streaming or parts of cord cutting right now in the world of streaming. With that, it's pretty easy to launch these, let's be honest. A lot of these deals are advertising revenue splits, which means I'm not paying upfront. Sometimes people pay upfront. A lot of times what I'm told is these are advertising revenue splits. And if they are paying upfront, it's often a small amount upfront. And then TCL will take part of the revenue, and Warner Brothers, Discovery, or Fox, or whoever owns the other content will take the rest of the revenue for whatever airs on their programming. So it's a great model, easy to launch, and it brings in extra revenue. We see Vizio and Samsung and others. I think LG has one too. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have a free ad-supported streaming service. These companies are launching free ad streaming services in order to try to attract people to watch them, to try to make their TVs more profitable. I look for this to continue to become a big thing, but if you've been thinking about trying out the TCL TV Plus service with the 350 live channels, you can now do it on all Roku platforms. So let me know if you used it. Question of the day. Do you like TCL TV Plus? Who's used it? Leave me a comment, let me know. Speaking of free ad-supported services, Tubi is launching 9 new channels in partnership with the A&E networks, including stuff from History, A&E Network, Lifetime, and more. Some of these include Cold Case Files, Ice Road Truckers, Dance Moms, Duck Dynasty, and more. If you want to see all the channels, link in the show notes down below. All right, media companies are continuing to lay off staff. We see over the last few years a lot of cutbacks, including Paramount laying off like 20% of its TV station staff. Well, that's not stopping now. There's another one, reports out there that Fox Entertainment will be eliminating 30 positions as it cuts back. Big picture here, let's talk about this. A few things. For one, a lot of these companies are facing cord cutting. Not a big surprise, because of that they're starting to make cuts, merging departments, trying to focus more on streaming. When they do that, when you merge departments, sometimes you run into redundancies, and that's what Fox is saying. As they restructure, these 30 positions are no longer needed. Other things here are cost cutting. Warner Bros. Discovery's made cuts recently. Fox, Paramount, and others have all laid people off. Disney's laid a lot of people off. Last year was a huge round of layoffs for the company. Cost cutting, let's just be honest. When your revenue starts going down, you face new competition, cutting costs. Things are a little bit more leaner, and it's time to look around and decide, do you need it or do you not need it? We'll keep a close eye on this, but look for layoffs becoming more and more common at TV providers in the future. And last story up of the day, internet service providers may be forced to become more aggressive to stop piracy or face major lawsuits. Now, recently, the RIAA won a $1 billion verdict against Cox, which is still working its way through the appeal system, but they now have sued Verizon for copyright infringement also. RIAA is arguing that Cox, Verizon, and others are not doing enough to stop piracy, and they're not acting fast enough when DMCA file complaints come in. Because of that, they are working very aggressively to try and block all of this and sue internet service providers. Not so, I'm sure they would love the money, but to make them do more in the future to stop it. Now, television companies are watching this closely. If they're successful, look for internet service providers to be forced to be more aggressive to cut internet off from customers who are pirating content. This has become the new battleground in the world of piracy. Not just suing you, the end user who may be pirating, or may not. If you're not, then don't worry about it. But suing internet providers saying, hey, you need to do more. You need to actually cut people off if they're pirating. We'll keep a close eye on this. This could be a very important case. Cox in appeal, Verizon now up next. I'm sure they'll keep working their way through other internet service providers. We'll keep a close eye on it. Well, that's it for today. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I will see you all again tomorrow for another Cord Cutting Today.